On this episode of the podcast, we take a look at the movie Ocean's 8, directed by Gary Ross, written by Gary Ross and Olivia Milch, starring Sandra Bullock, Cate Blanchett, and Anne Hathaway. Welcome to He Said, She Said Movie Reviews. This is the podcast where a happily married couple with different opinions takes a quick look at the movies, helping you make the right decision before watching your next movie. I'm your host, Tim.
And I'm April.
Hi, we're right back from having seen Ocean's 8. And in my opinion, the movie was about 30 minutes too long. We'll get into that right after these previews.
Yes, we will. The first trailer we saw today was A Star is Born with Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. It looks absolutely fantastic. I obviously am a big fan of The Star is Born. It was made in 1976 with Chris Christopherson and Barbra Streisand, a classic. It's just, you know, it's interesting that they're going to remake this. And I think had I not seen this trailer with these two people in it, I might not be as interested to see it, but I can say I cannot wait. I did not know Bradley Cooper knew how to sing.
Yeah, I was really surprised if that was actually him singing. He's got a really good voice. And for me, this movie looks really good. I can't wait to see it.
And she's a complex enough woman to be able to handle this role. So I'm very excited and I'm proud of her for doing it.
Yeah, I can't wait. The next preview we saw was for a movie called Serenity, starring Matthew McConaughey. This is, it's the mysterious past of a fishing boat captain comes back to haunt him when his ex-wife tracks him down with a desperate plan for help. Wow, this trailer, well, anything Matthew McConaughey does, I mean, he is, in my opinion, one of the best actors out there. I really want to see this movie. It looks really good. Oh, and Anne Hathaway plays his ex-wife in this movie, so it looks fantastic. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, all three of us were sitting there. And when I say the three of us, of course, my daughter was there, but we were kind of speechless after this preview. I think this movie is going to be mind-blowing.
And the next preview we saw was for a movie called Operation Finale. This is one is going to be a tough one to watch. This is about the Holocaust. This takes place roughly 15 years after World War II ends, and it's all about the tracking down of Adolf Eichmann, who was the Nazi who was responsible for he was the architect of the whole Holocaust. And it's going to be a hard one to watch, but we'll definitely be there.
The last trailer we saw was The Spy Who Dumped Me, and this is a comedy. It looks hilarious with Mila Kunis and Kate, Tim, is it? McKinnon, who, of course, is from Saturday Night Live. Everyone knows who Mila is. She's hilarious, beautiful on the inside and out. Obviously, these two have chemistry. Tim, what do you think about this trailer?
Oh, this is a pure buddy flick. It's about two girls who are women who get into a mix with spies and end up becoming spies themselves. It looks hilariously funny. This will be one of those good, like I said, buddy films. I can't wait to see it.
Me as well.
Okay, so the movie we went to see today was Ocean's 8. This is the movie about Debbie Ocean, which is Sandra Bullock, where she gathers an all-female crew to attempt the impossible heist of the New York City yearly Met Gala. This film is directed by Gary Ross, who brought us The Hunger Games, Seabiscuit, and Pleasantville, and he's also the writer for the same things, Hunger Games, Seabiscuit, and Pleasantville, and Olivia Milch, who wrote a movie called Dude.
You're right. I forgot about Seabiscuit.
Right. And this stars Sandra Bullock, Cate Blanchett, Anne Hathaway, Helena Bonham Carter, Mindy, Kaling, Rihanna, Sarah Paulson, and Awkwafina.
Yeah, I enjoyed the chemistry of this cast. We'll get in a few minutes. There were a lot of people in this cast. But the chemistry between the women was spot on. Sandra Bullock, of course. I don't know how you cannot love her. But I particularly liked the chemistry between her and Cate Blanchett.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. And the one thing I didn't like about the movie is they really didn't go back and explain that chemistry between Sandra Bullock's character and Cate Blanchett's character, between Debbie Ocean and Lou. I thought they could have given us a little bit more to that than what they did.
Yeah, also their history. More about the years and years before, I agree. But just a clever plot, how they pulled different women together as their partners, how they did it. It just reminds me that what you focus on, you become.
Yeah, I enjoyed this movie, but as I said earlier in the podcast, I thought it was a little slow. I think they could have sped it up, maybe cut the movie. It was a full 2-hour running length, and I think that they could have cut a half an hour out of this. For me, it kind of slowed down towards the middle, and there were a few whole plots. There was this one scene in the movie, and this is not a spoiler alert, but one of the characters has all of her tools in the Met Museum, and it's like, yeah, they never really explained how she got all her equipment there and how it got through security. There were some whole plots for me. I also didn't like how, once again, Sandra Bullock plays Debbie Ocean, and they talk real briefly about her brother. They say he's passed away, but they don't give us any information there. I thought they could have, when you foreshadow something or give something like that, you need to explain it. So for me, I enjoyed it. I was entertained, but I didn't leave the theater going, wow, this was a really phenomenal movie.
Okay. I always, obviously, I support women films, but I also just love when we get a crew and a cast together like that they carry the movie. I thought that it was well done as far as them working together, their goal, achieving their goal, how they do it. There was some laughter in it. I wanted more laughter. That's what I wanted. Yeah,
the trailers for this movie made it look like it was going to be have a little bit more of a comedic element to it, and I felt that was missing.
Right, and I understand that. I thought that Awkwafina and Rihanna's characters in the movie actually they rounded out the cast, and I thought it was intriguing.
Oh, and to be honest with you, too, for me, I'm not a huge fan of Helena Bonham Carter, and this was actually one of the few movies that I've seen her in that I actually really enjoyed her character and her performance in this movie. So for me, she was a bright spot.
Right, and I know that Tim and Hope both felt that way. I am just not a fan. So,
so anyways, for me, this was a good movie. It was entertaining. It wasn't a great movie. I would give this a solid 3.
Okay. It's summer, and I felt like it was a perfect summer movie. I'm going to give it a 3.5, and I'm going to say that I agree with Tim on a few of the issues with the plots. And as I said, I did want it to be funnier, but I enjoyed it, and I was entertained.
All right. Well, we really appreciate you taking the time to listen to our podcast. If you haven't already done so, please go out to hesaidshesAidmovies.com/subscribe and subscribe to the podcast. That really helps us and lets us know what we're doing. Once again, we really appreciate all the feedback we've gotten from everybody so far, and we really appreciate you downloading the podcast.
And I want to say, too, we've been very touched at the amount of feedback we've gotten and your requests, which we will be honoring. We have a few surprises coming up in the next week, a few dedicated podcasts we're looking forward to doing. Y'all have been great. We appreciate it, and we'll see you at the movies.
See you at the movies. Thanks again.